I'm Dr. Ray Middleton. I help people by delivering great training. Here's an example of an episode from one of my training courses. Remember, for all of us, we're bound to experience points of crisis in our life. So it's normal. It's a normal, natural process in life. Crisis may come when we're moving from teenage life to being a young adult and taking on some more responsibilities. Or it might be when someone close to us dies, sadly. Or it could be when we experience some limitations because we're getting older and moving into a new season of life in older age, and that might be fine, but we might have a crisis where we think, well, I can't do what I used to do. We might experience a crisis during a breakup of an intimate relationship or any other significant life event, such as a serious accident, and afterwards we may have a crisis. So all sorts of things can happen to us that might trigger a crisis for us. We might experience violence from other people. Crisis can involve all sorts of significant trauma and loss for us all. So it's a normal process to go through. That's really important to hold in mind. It's a normal human process. And often people go through more than one crisis during their entire life journey. Each crisis can be an opportunity for growth. There's the concept of post-traumatic growth, isn't there, from trauma-informed ideas, which can be experienced. Post-traumatic growth instead of post-traumatic stress disorder. So it's possible to learn things through surviving crises. As a process, I can grow and develop through the way I deal with a crisis in my life, including the ways I process trauma and loss, and my response to severe difficulties and challenges. If we reflect on how we respond to challenges, this can help us learn from these experiences, even if in hindsight we think some of our reactions were unhelpful, or we might think, well, I didn't really deal very well with that crisis, or I might, I've thought sometimes how I've dealt with crisis in my own life. I thought, well, that made it worse, and this helped. But by reflecting in hindsight, in the rear view mirror, as it were, and talking to people, we can think, I've learned something from this, and I can develop and grow. By reflecting with others on how we handle a crisis, we can become better at the job, at work. It might be a crisis that we're involved in. It might not be our crisis, but we're helping someone else with a crisis. And by talking and reflecting with others, we might learn and grow and develop and get better at responding to a crisis. Or we might become a better friend or a relative through the way we deal with our own crisis. So we can learn. If we think of someone's personal story or self-narrative being like a journey, then a crisis on this journey may lead to a positive change of direction in their life. As a worker, we may be able to influence, to some extent, the way someone responds to a crisis, to help them move in a positive direction as they navigate through and out of a crisis. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Someone's life is like an unfolding story that we may have a positive impact on, or we might not. But we can try, and we can become more skillful at being a helpful person during a crisis. If we develop our skills and understanding, we're more likely to have a positive influence on someone as we support them through a crisis within whatever role we're in. Creating a shared common language can help in a crisis. For example, someone may use a particular phrase to indicate that they value safety. We may use this phrase or language to agree with someone that they really do value feeling safe. We might then think together about how their perhaps drug and alcohol use may be led to this feeling of feeling threatened, and their value of feeling safe has been threatened because other people are coming around, or maybe they've had a physical health crisis due to overdosing and the ambulance has come. And so do you see how tapping into what they value, maybe feeling safe, is resonating with their world? The common language around the value of being safe is one example where you can build some common language to talk about the next steps as you navigate through the crisis, how they might respond to the crisis. The person we're getting alongside is more likely to talk about, reflect, and consider the options around and during a crisis within an already established trusting relationship. So that's the value of the relationship and how valuable you might be as someone who knows them. Remember, how someone responds to a crisis is an opportunity. It may open a doorway into a new positive change of direction in their journey through life. I hope you found that helpful. For more information about the training I can offer, email me at ray.middleton@ladderforlife.com or sign up for one of my free trauma-informed courses by clicking the link in the comments. Like and subscribe for more helpful videos, or post a question in the comments and I'll reply.